Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, and thank you for joining us for another round of judging and rating comic covers. This is LK. I'm filling in here for Englantine, who's a little under the weather. Get well, big guy. We're rooting for you. We've got our great panel here set up, and of course, please join us in the chat. And we whoops, it rigged. Oh, if I put that on pause, so hopefully people didn't hear that too badly. We do try to run a professional outfit here.
We're apparently not trying too hard.
Well, no, of course not. So joining me here is our esteemed comics historian, Eric Breen. Eric, how are you?
I am just Ducky.
All right.
That's a
can't
good way
wait
to
to
be.
see your opinions on these mostly pre-code comic book covers.
Can you please chip in just...
What was that?
That was Donald Trump Jr. asking me to chip in $5.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody was showing off a new soundboard,
which tells me that E monetized the video.
Oh, well, that's good. And also joining us are the Lester sisters. Hello, Melissa and Amy.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing all right.
All right.
Might have to run off for a second to go check on some spaghetti, but one of us will be here at all times.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, no stream would be complete without an evil black cat. Cat, how are you?
So far so good.
All right. And last and certainly least, of course, he runs and has the Geeky Puppet Show. You may know him as Froggy. Other people know him as RDV or the real Dr. VENKMAN. And
Or that bastard.
He also might be known as being late. I know he had to step away for the moment, so waiting on him. He is going to help us run things here tonight. He was going to run the tier board here. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, we are doing 1940s covers, specifically taking a look at Phantom Lady covers. So one of the great... Oh, there he is. Hey, VENKMAN, how are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. Better late than never. So for those of you first time here, our ranking system goes from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst. Think of it as Riley Rosmo or any of your other least favorite current Marvel or DC artists, all the way up to 10 being the best. In this case for tonight, the 10 is going to be in honor of Matt Baker. Matt Baker is the artist who will do most of the covers you'll see tonight. He was one of the greats. He was really kind of the pioneer in terms of doing the good girl art style, of which you'll get to see a great example of here tonight. So anything else I failed to mention, VENKMAN, or are we set to go?
Well, I'm surprised you're the first person to say that. No, better late than never. They usually say better never.
Well, he did say last but certainly least.
Yeah. So
should we mention the Ko-Fi?
Well, of course. Please, if you want to help support this channel, click like, click on the subscribe, click on the bell for get all the notifications. If you want to financially support the channel, of course, you'll see the Ko-Fi link is scrolling at the bottom of your screen below. Any amount would be greatly appreciated.
Hey, substitute host.
Yes.
May I do Bill Raftery's 3-point call?
Go for it.
Onions!
Yeah. And sadly, I think Englantine is squaring up against the toilet and going, man-to-man. So
He's saying toilet
Mandible.
5, Englantine none.
Yeah. So okay, what happens if you send a certain amount on Ko-Fi?
I don't know. What does happen, Black Cat?
Well, if you go to Geeky Puppet Show, ko-fi.com/Palpatine, you can actually donate money. We'll put our comic books over there for the readings. But if you want to support E, you can do that too through Super Chat.
Yes.
And
Don't
if
you get some
see-
special reward in the auctions?
Well, yes, I believe if you donate for every $10 you donate on Ko-fi, you get a spot on the wheel during the end of the auctions. Where at the end of the night there's a raffle for a trade paperback. So
raffling is a pleasure.
Yep. And Great
What's
Legend
up?
Show
What's
is
up,
saying
man?
that he knows a guy with the first appearance of Phantom Lady.
Yep.
I would really like to meet that person.
You mean it's not near mint? That guy's everything.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and kick things off here. And this is the first book we're going to take a look at. And this is Phantom Lady from Fox Comics. And this is issue number 13.
I don't know what to do.
So, yeah. So previously she appeared in some earlier tales, but her first title with her own name is issue 13 because that's how they rolled with comics in the 1940s. And
So you're saying they didn't launch a whole new #1?
They didn't, surprisingly. I know, it's amazing. So I'm just going to go in the order that's there on the side of the screen. So Venkman, you're up first. Tell us what you think of Phantom Lady number 13.
Oh, I'm looking at my screen. You're right above me. Okay. All right. Honestly, I like the paper. I like the document. You know, I can't read most of it. You know, so the guy with the creepy fingers is obviously it's Pixel. He's looking a little yellow today. He needs some more sunlight. He's looking like a mullet. And how big his hand is, man? Dear God! Like for a second I thought this was Doll Man for how small she is compared to the hand. I thought it's pretty decent, you know. I'd give it around amount of 7 though. So it's just a little bit too. It's just a little bit too cluttered.
Okay. Black Cat, what do you think?
I give it a 7 too.
A 7 as well. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't get much of an idea of what's happening from the cover. You just see there's a chick there. There's an alien or weird looking hand there. Might be the Dominators, but Dominators aren't Fox properties, so yeah, you don't get much of an idea of what's happening.
All right, Melissa.
Alyssa went to go check on the spaghetti, so you just got me right now.
Okay, well, Amy, what do you think?
Well, okay, first thing I have to ask is, it says the Blue Beetle is in this. Is that the same Blue Beetle that's...
Yep, Ted Cord.
No, it's
Really?
Dan Garrett.
Is it Dan? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That cord doesn't show up
got
until
Ted
DC
Cord's
Biden.
first appearance.
I don't know when.
It was 24 years later.
I don't pay attention when Phantom Lady came out.
We just said it was the 40s.
I thought it was 2024 when she came out.
Oh, but I'm
No, DC doesn't have this character.
Nor Marvel.
Or
They
Marvel.
should.
They have a different Phantom Lady though.
Yeah, technically DC does have a Phantom Lady.
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
Not this exact one.
So
but-
then this is a different Blue Beetle too?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Well, she looks really cool. I love that she's got like a little like fanny pack, like purse thing. That's really cool. I can't get a really good lead on what the story's about. Like, is she like a Thumbelina type character or what the article's about? So while it's really well drawn, I do kind of agree that it's a good cover. So I think a 7 would be right for that.
Okay. And did Melissa come back yet?
No, let me go get her.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll go to Eric here. So, Eric, what do you think?
I'm gonna say 7 also. It's not a very dynamic pose for Phantom Lady, although I'm sure at the time, the young boy fans probably went hot cha cha. It's just kind of something's just missing from that, and the rest of it's fine. So I said I think 7's.
You know, I do kind of agree with you, Eric, because look how high those her pants are. They're way above the knee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Her short skirt, you mean? Yes.
That tramp. Or trop, as Eric says.
Oh boy. All right. let's see. What do I think? Oh God, I don't want to follow the chorus, but I think for the opener here, while I think it is very striking, and certainly I saw this on the rack, I would pick it up. I know that there are better covers to come. It's a good opener, and so I'm going to join the chorus of sevens. And we'll see when Melissa gets back, and she can add her score in.
David Simon would say, "There's a little side booty."
Yeah. So let's see what we get from the chat. We see that Ethereal Dragon gives it a 7. Dave, it's got to be a whole number. So, okay, there we go. He says a 7. Maranya says it's an interesting costume and pose. Document frames are well. Creepy hand makes it horror-like. And she gives it a 7. I'm seeing a trend here.
I know,
Rhaegar
right?
says I have no reference, so he'll give it an 8. Let's see. And we've got Spiffy here, who gives it a 4 out of 10. And also notes that he's making spaghetti too. He's doing a mushroom Alfredo with chicken version. Well, I had chicken divan tonight at my parents' house, and it was fantastic. So, one of my favorite meals growing up as a kid. I can't beat the cheesy combination. Jackson Roykirk with an 8. So that is our second 8.
That's when they bring up chicken. I actually had a.
Let's see. It looks like that. The rest of the ones we have. Melissa, are you back?
I am.
All right.
Sorry, sorry for the suspense.
That's okay.
There's no tails here.
I'm very impressed by the technical skill. Like the sinews and that hand is extremely well drawn, and I mean, that is it. Her pose and the anatomy and the structure and the perspective on her is extremely solid. I think I'm going to. I understand there might be factors like the excitement of the background or whatever, but for me, I feel like this is a solid 8.
That's another 8. All right. Well, I don't really have to use ease math here. Normally, I'd go and total this all up, but we've got such an overwhelming number of 7s that this falls into the 7 column.
Yep.
So
That's still very good.
A good start there to put that in the 7. All right, so we're going to go to issue number 14, and here's a kind of a sullen-looking Sandra. So for those of you who don't know, her civilian identity is Sandra Knight, the daughter to Senator George Knight, and by night she is Phantom Lady. So, Evil Black Cat, issue 14. What do you think?
Looking at the details, and yeah, this isn't doing much either. She's just driving a boat. I think I'll give this a 6.
6. Okay.
So, are they? Does she have any relation to Winston and Michael Knight, or Michael Knight?
No, unless you want to do some kind of fan fiction to like try and tie together every single fictional Knight character, you're more than welcome to try and do that.
She might like the Black Knight.
So, Amy, what do you think on issue 14 here?
Well, this is really cute. I mean, that's whimsical, right? She's got a little ship. She's off on an adventure. I'm not sure if it's like a pirate story or what, but it does look like a lot more fun. I'm going to give this one an 8.
Okay. So you can kind of see there it says Scoundrels and Scandals, The Condemned Venus, and A Shroud for the Bride are the 3 stories within this issue. Yeah. I'm sure though not all of them were Phantom Lady. I'm sure that there are some other characters because that's the way these books rolled back then. So you're giving it an 8.
So one of the 3 stories would have been Phantom Lady, and the other 2, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, typically, unless I'm mistaken, that's usually how it went, isn't it, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay, so you gave it an 8, Amy?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Melissa?
I think I'll give this one an 8 too. It's interesting how she's sailing a ship, but she looks so pensive and distant. It's like it's an interesting juxtaposition of action and situation and sort of like motivation. And the background is very pretty. And the background's pretty. I like the sea and the inks on the waves. Yeah, 8. Mm-hmm.
All right. Eric.
Well, you can tell by her right hand that this is actually an early AI.
That must have taken a long time.
But I see 4 fingers. I don't see a problem there.
It just terribly undersized.
Oh.
I'm just gonna give this a 6 too, because it's just kind of there.
Okay. So a 6 from Eric. All right. Oh, let's see. Well, I mean, her face is fantastic. You do notice that her outfit is a little bit different than what we saw on the cover of the first issue. And just overall drawn, yes, I'm a big Matt Baker fan, so I'm going to stick with a 7 for this one. Venkman?
Well, I'm surprised nobody said it, but she needs to shave her armpits.
That's called shadow.
Yeah, it looks like hair, though. I'm got to give it a 6 with my paw.
God.
You know what you see? You just can't unsee. It's like mole, 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 mole. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I was so busy focused on the tiny hand that I didn't even see the pit hair.
Oh no! Oh, what are you guys doing to me?
She's
here?
got hairy armpits and baby hands. That's wrong.
All right, let's go to the chat here. Ethereal Dragon says a 6. He thinks it's boring. David Sonovitz says 7. Not great, but you can see it across the room. I agree. Maranya says it's a simple cover. I don't get the Phantom part for the lady with this drawing, though. Still with the illustration, I give it a 7. Yeah, I mean, her choker, it'll come along later where it has like a little skull on it.
Yeah, and Venkman, with those small, tiny hands, she can't reach to shave them.
Yeah. Rhaegar also gives it a 7.
Wait. She's Phantom Lady. Did they make Did they place him with a woman to make gay lame?
Yeah, and let's see. Spiffy gives it a 6, and Rhaegar actually says, change that and let me make it a 6. So that gives us a total of 80, and it should be divided by 12. So we're looking right at 6.7. I'm making a command decision and putting it as a 7.
Congratulations. Math is not hard.
Up to a certain point, then math is nearly impossible. But by then they replace all the numbers.
Amen, Lester sister.
So let's see. There's 4 of those. And
Yeah, I gave up when I had to do integrations on imaginary numbers.
Zach gave up when they had to do integrations, period.
Oh no.
Oh, boo. All right. So 2 down, and let's see. Yes, I got Jackson's score of a 7 as well. So we are moving on to issue number 15. Here we got a little bit more action. So Amy, what do you think? Kick us off here.
Oh my goodness. What is this? She's got, is it a box that's like the opposite of a flashlight, or
Eric, do you want to tell her?
She had a thing that projects black light, didn't she?
Yes. Yeah, it was because her father, because she also knew this kind of not mad, but wacky scientist, and the scientist is the one that kind of gave her
Oh my gosh.
this blackout light. So
Okay.
Yo,
This is the earliest form of YouTube with the negatives people. The black pills.
black pills. Okay.
It's all negative light.
Yeah. So it's using this blackout light is kind of where she kind of, the Phantom Lady moniker came from, because it seemed like she always came out of the shadows or the
oh,
Phantom.
interesting. So it looks like she can just be coming out. It's just the middle of the day, but then everything goes really dark, and then she shows up. Oh, that's kind of cool.
So
Yeah.
what's the cape for then?
I don't know. I think she's got a cute dress, and her shoes are really cute. The colors are very nice. It's kind of there's little filing cabinets or something like that. So it's not exactly my happy place, but it is really nicely drawn.
Well, I'm glad a morgue is not your happy place.
Yeah. I guess I'll
Yeah, it's
give
more
it-
of Breen's.
Yeah.
Not yet, but
It's a 7, I guess, because the colors
7?
really are nice though, and it's a good drawing. So
Okay. All right. 7. Melissa, what do you think?
Melissa is coming back in a minute. I will get her.
Okay, no worries. Eric.
I'm going to give us a 9. I like her pose. I like the black light thing she's shining on the dude. The only thing is, obviously, those drawers next to her are morgue drawers, and they are tiny compared to the body that's right in front of them. But that's the only flaw I can think of, and you make allowances for that. I like this cover. I said it's almost a 10, but I'm going to go with a 9.
All right. I'm going to join Eric with a 9. It's great. It's dynamic. Again, love the look of Sandra there. So, and you also get to see kind of how the black light works. So this is a 9 for me. Venkman.
So those boxes on the left are bigger on the inside, like Madman in a box. But that guy was
just other TARDISes.
So the guy I was getting ready for is to watch Wednesday night, and that's basically people watch Gary saying, "No, it sucks, don't watch it."
Oh, I thought the guy on the slab was what happens to people who do watch Madman in a Box.
It is.
Yeah.
They love it.
That's what happens
Anyway,
if you watch Doctor Who. So Venkman, what do you think?
give it a 9.
9. All right. Black Cat.
I'll give this an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you might actually ruin our Rain on the Parade a little bit more there.
Okay, I'll give it a 6 then.
No, I marked it an 8. You can't change. Let's see. Melissa, are you back?
I am.
All right.
Really dynamic pose.
Yep.
It was pretty suspenseful. Phantom Lady gives crime a blackout with her black ray in these thrillers. Yeah, this looks pretty intense. I'm thinking like a 9.
A 9. All right. So we got 4 9s from the panel. And let's see what we get from our chat. So Ethereal Dragon says a 7. And David Sonovitz gives it an 8. And hey, Rhaegar gives us our first 10 of the night. And Maranya says, a great scene in the morgue using her powers on the cover. It's well rendered and tells the story. She gives it a solid 9. And Jackson Roykirk gives it a 9 as well. Of course, he's saying, so Eric, you want to read what Jackson said there?
What, the art is getting more dynamic?
No, just after Maranya.
Oh, I'll have to scroll up here. Those gams.
There you go.
Oh, Acho.
And Spiffy dumps on all of us saying a 4. It's meh, nothing really interesting. Hey, Glenzer, welcome. And Glenzer gives it a 10 as well.
He said, Skippy also said, other than that side boob that Dave loves so much.
Yep.
Dave's like, the only one.
So yeah, no, it's funny though. You can even see though how the top is different from what we saw in the last cover. So let's see, 16 plus.
It's your business attire.
Minus, 56 times. Oh God, 6 times 9. 54. Thank you. And then plus 20 gives us that, and divide by 5, 7, 9, 10, 13. Gives us an 8.3, so this falls solidly into the 8s. So, all right. And I will throw up the stop sign here.
All right.
And we'll get going here. Off 15, and we will start up with 16. And let's see. Melissa, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Wow, these are some colors.
Whoa.
Okay, Alyssa, what do you think?
It's intense. Again, whoever this artist is does an amazing job. With like the director is like, I often see like female or anyone forms they kind of get flat really easy, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's a nice
the
silhouette.
angles, the coloring is very good. I don't. She seems to just be trying. It looks like she's recovering on a fainting couch, and now someone is pointing a gun with her, which is not helping her with her fainting couch situation at one bit.
Nope.
I'd still give it an 8.
All right. So, yeah, no, the artist, if you ever want to look up a fascinating person and some great art, it's Matt Baker, who was the legendary artist on this. And
What is
This-
the icon under February? Is it a goat?
no, that is the Fox Comics.
Okay. I had to switch over because look at my phone. It looked like the
I'm the
600.
king of comics.
I thought it was the goat from Sabrina.
No. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to kind of look like a fox.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, but
but
yeah,
not
no.
the Fox.
Matt Baker is, Matt Baker is the reason why these books fetch thousands of dollars now.
So it says ANG next to the Phantom. I wasn't sure if that was a different artist.
Yeah. No, not quite sure what the ANG stood for there, but yeah. So let's see. Eric.
I think this is going to be my first 10.
Oh, all right.
It is something about the way the woman's drawn it, and apparently, Matt, if he had one flaw, it probably was hands, at least in these days. But everything else is very dynamic. The gun in the window, she's got a look of terror on her. And this works. I like this a lot.
Yep. Yeah, it's very good. So, yeah, for those curious, so that's not actually Phantom Lady or Sandra on the cover, as you can kind of see from the little inset there. It's a true crime story narrated by Phantom Lady. So, again, kind of one of the interesting things about this, again, is they were trying to figure out how to best sell it. In this issue, you'd have 2 original Phantom Lady stories, and then you'd also have this kind of true crime story that she would kind of act as the narrator for. So almost taking a page a little bit out like a Tales from the Crypt issue or something. It's a really great cover. I'm gonna wait one more cover for my 10, so I'm gonna give this a 9. Venkman.
I have to give this a 10. I'm glad that this woman knows how to shape her armpits. It's so great.
Oh God, is this going to be a theme with you throughout the night as we're looking at these covers?
I would never tell you if it was or wasn't.
Yeah.
Surprise.
All right, Black Cat, bring us down. What do you think?
All right, I give this a 2.
You're out of
That's
here.
2.
No, I give this a 7. You told me to bring you down, so
Okay. Well, still, I mean, compared to the other ones, the 7 is bringing us down. But
You
it's
can't.
not by that much.
Black Cat, you can't bring him down. His name's not Bruce.
let's see, and the Amy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Amy.
One of the two.
Yeah. What do you
this
think?
is- it's really pretty. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. I mean, it's definitely. I'm going to say it's awesome. I feel like there's probably a better one. He's got a better one in him somewhere, but this is very nice. So yeah, I'll give this a 9 as well.
A 9. All right. And let's see what we get from the chat here. Spiffy He's grading your spaghetti there, Melissa. He's telling Jackson he got enough spaghetti on his own. Melissa would get a 9, both for good food taste and great minds thinking alike, but she's missing a lot of votes checking on it, so I'll bump her down to an 8. Well, that's a little. Okay. That's the vote. As to the cover, we've got Glenser going with a 9. We've got Ethereal Dragon going with an 8. We've got Spiffy actually a 7. Oh, so he's still grading you. He's actually dropped you to a 7 because his Alfredo spaghetti is better. Jackson also is a 9.
I also want to point out that before Jackson gave her a 2 for not sharing.
Yeah,
There's some more in the pot. Anybody want some?
Yeah.
Can you ship it here?
Oh, well, this is interesting. So Maranya says it's a dramatic cover implying peril, but not Phantom Lady, but is a looker. But it doesn't say the score. She gives it just a solid 6. Spiffy, as to the comic, says blondes are hot. Blue is hot on blondes. Cute pose, cute girl, and he will give it a 7. And then we have Rhaegar coming in with a pretty blonde wearing high heels and drama. So he gives it a 9. As does David Sonowitz. With a comment there, if she was bound, it would be a 10. Let's see, talking about the chat. Spiffy more talking about spaghetti. So I think we've got all the votes in here. So I'm going to throw up the stop sign. And let's see what we've got here. So we got a 6. We got 2 7s. We got 2 8s. We got 6 9s. And we got 2 10s. So that comes out to a 1 10 and 5 with, again, 13 of us. So that comes out to just over an 8. So it goes into the 8s.
Kudos, the Phantom Lady.
So all those 9s, because of the 6 and the 7,
friend.
kind of drags it down enough that it can't quite reach the heights of a 9. So, all right. So, Eric, you are going to get to start us on probably the more iconic covers, certainly in the Golden Age, and that is Phantom Lady number 17.
Honestly, you could retire 1 through 9 on this one because this is the most pie in the face, obvious 10. That I mean, it's arguably, no, not even arguably, it's one of the 10 most famous non-superhero Golden Age comic covers. Hell, you can probably throw in superheroes, and it's probably still top 10.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's very iconic. It's she's very sexy. She's bound. Yeah, this one goes to 11.
Yeah, I'm right there with you again. The iconic, just the sultriness. You can see that Matt, basically has nailed down what the final costume look is because it's pretty much consistent for the rest of the series like this. It's awesome. I'm a 10 as well. Venkman?
Well, they censored her armpit hair. That's great. It's a 10, dude. This is a baba boom, bro.
All right. Kat, what do you think?
10.
10.
Yes.
All right. Melissa?
Okay. I had to admit, I didn't know that. I figured that comic book heroines didn't start looking like this until the 90s. The idea that they've been doing stuff like this for this long is interesting. Gosh.
Yeah, she sells capes. Like
the cape, that's a cool cape. It's a good background. The suspense is it's a nice balance of like a pose, but there's still like action going on.
yeah, there's an entire rendered environment back there that's really well defined. There's a dude sneaking up behind her. Probably she knows he's coming because she's getting her stuff ready.
There is something behind her.
Yeah.
I never noticed.
You're right.
It's really cool.
Yeah. It's just like I just don't think a comic book cover could get a lot more solid than this.
Yeah, I know.
It's 10.
10.
I thought you had
Alright.
a box of Kleenexes there. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So Amy?
Yeah, I think this looks pretty exciting. I don't know if they're going how much cooler the covers are going to get tonight, but that's a good one.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll give this one a 10 too. It looks really exciting.
All right. 10s across the board from our group here. Let's see what we got here. Again, Jackson there. So Glenzer goes a 10. Jackson goes a 10. Rhaegar goes 10. Dave Asanowitz goes 10. Hey, Brooke Mo Howard. Hey, what's up, chat? As you can see, we're grading Phantom Lady covers here. These are early 1940s. Maranya, of course, says, iconic pose, well drawn. The only flaw is she's not using her powers, but still this gets a rare 10 from Maranya. And let's see. As Jackson mentions, yeah, the 40s had much better drawn women than the 90s. I'll agree. I mean, I would highly encourage you to look up Golden Age Good Girl art. Probably would be the best one. And you can see, I mean, just beautiful, gorgeous women characters throughout the early 40s and up into the 50s. Let's see. Spiffy. Oh, Spiffy, what are you doing to us? He gives it a 7. He wants to give it an 8, but says the blonde girl's hotter, and he can't change that 8 to vote to an 8 now. So this is a 7. You guys, and Ethereal Dragon goes 8. I don't know what you're doing there. And let's see. So, Mo, if you want to drop in a vote, 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, we appreciate it. And you can also drop in the chat votes for the previous covers, and that'll be good. So I will go ahead, though, at this point and put up the stop sign. And, gee, let's see. We've got 11 10s. And then we got a 7 and an 8.
And a 9.
Oh, and Mo gives us a 9. So a little run of the gamut there. But I'm going to safely say, yeah, this crosses into the 10 territory. Nothing is going to outshine those 10. So there's our first.
I had it up there before you read the chat.
Yeah, Glenzer, I'm going to agree based on personality, but if they'd gone strictly by looks, I would have cast Hedy Lamar.
Well, that's a good choice.
But Jane Russell has the personality to carry this off, and she was very, very beautiful in those days also.
Yeah. What do you think about Veronica Lake? Put her in a dark hair wig.
I don't think she'd have been right for it. I think because she was a tiny woman.
Yeah.
Like this lady.
What about Betty Page?
No, she's her own,
No.
her own thing. All right, so this is 18, and I get to lead off with 18 here, and there's a lot of great things to like about this.
Actually, two.
Tiny, yeah. Well, there's those two, plus also the two tiny people as well. As I've said before, I'm a sucker for Matt Baker art. Again, another just beautifully drawn face there, and the proportions. And the hands look better too. Well, at least the right hand. The
No,
left hand.
they both do actually. I'll give both of them on that.
Yeah. So I am going to be a broken record here, and I'm going to.
But what of the pits?
I'm going to give this a 10 as well. So Venkman, what about you?
10. Perfect 10.
Perfect 10. All right. Kat.
9.
A 9. All right. Melissa.
Okay. Interesting symbolism here.
So I guess this is her telling the story of another true crime story. So it's like the case of Irene
Schroeder, yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Pretty suspenseful. I think I'll go 9 too, yeah.
A 9. All right. Amy, how about you?
I hate to take something down too much because of a lot of technical issues, because all drawings have them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I
Take it
won't
to the
bother
ground.
pulling him out.
Take it to the ground if you want to. It is based on your opinion, not being nice to some random artist who's
Yeah, your
probably
opinion.
dead.
Your opinion means
Yeah,
it's a 10,
dead for
right?
about 70 years.
Yeah.
60 years, some years.
Yeah.
Quiet, Gene.
I
Yeah.
think I'll probably give it a 9.
A 9? Okay.
It's
So
really interesting, but it's got a lot of problems.
So I'm curious, what technical issues are you seeing?
Oh, okay, so she's holding this guy in one hand, but she's not holding him in her hand. Her hand's folded up in front of him.
Okay, I can see that.
There's some issues with the small woman's her raised arm. The forearm's way too long, and the musculature's not correct on it, and her closed hand's almost a gesture. So again, I'm trying not to give too many faults on the hand, but her face is also kind of off too. The eye's not in the right place. It's too far back. It has a lot of very I mean, her face looks great, her hair looks great, the costume on Phantom Lady looks cool, but there are a lot of things in here that kind of look like it was maybe like his 12-year-old niece came in and helped him clean it up. And that's awesome. If it's a family project, I love that for him.
Pixel did?
But
She is also, when did she have a face? I don't see a face in this.
Yeah. So okay, cool. No, I appreciate that because I'm not an artist at all. So I'm always interested to hear kind of expert opinions or at
I'm
least.
not an artist, but I collect good art.
Yeah. We've got the taste, and it is a cool image. And what the stuff that it's an interesting image, and the composition works really well, and the things that work about it really work.
Her hair's amazing.
Yeah, her hair looks great. I love the texture on that, and the inks and the colors and everything. But there's just a few things in there that are bordering on painful to look at. And I'm like, oh no. So
All right, Eric.
Okay, first I'm going to say she's got her first finger around him, and you can't see her thumb, so I'm just going to assume she's holding him that way.
Oh, okay. So you think she's got her first 3 kind of curled up over his torso and his.
So she's pinching him basically.
Okay, so she's kind of pinching him, and those are curled. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to but I'm also going to give us a 10. And I'm going to say, if you look at the face on this cover versus the face where she's driving the boat, it's night and day. It's Sandra night and day. Ha! He's improving literally month to month.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We can take a look at that. That's the one from 16.
Because she kind of looks like the Campbell Soup Kid face.
Yeah.
One, compared to that's much more feminine, and even though there's really no more features attached to it, it's so much smoother and more. It's a much more beautiful face.
She looks really intense.
And as I stated,
that's a good word for it.
As I stated when we did the Spider Woman's last night, I like the oversized characters. Like when like the villain's looming over the city. And this has that with her holding the 2 people. So it's a 10 for me.
Yeah, I like her face. I mean, the red-haired lady, her face is kind of askew. But yeah, her Phantom.
Yeah, but that's kind of like the style of the day on a lot of characters. So
I think so.
Yeah, it's the same thing with all the guys look like all this. When you can't do close-ups on the guys, they all ended up looking like George Brent.
Okay.
Kudos for anybody that remembers George Brent. But
Initially I was thinking of Ricky Gervais's character from The Office.
No, George Brent was a 40s and 50s movie star. When you couldn't get the A list, you called George Brent.
All right, let's see. From the chat, we've got Glenzer with a 10, Mo Howard there with a 9. And let's see, Rhaegar goes 10. And Spiffy goes 7, commenting on boobs. Jackson says 9. He likes it better when you do see the whole figure. Fair enough. Ethereal Dragon goes the 7 route. David Sonowitz says 10 out of 10 again. Tiny people, red and yellow cover front. I completely agree. Maranya says it's an interesting cover with Phantom Lady holding little people like dolls. The cape used as a background for trade dress. Yep. And the rendering is great. She gives it a 9. And let's see. Yes, Jackson. Fortunately, Matt died young. Rhaegar is asking where her organs. No, we are not that website. I think she looks just fine. Let's see. Again, Spiffy asking about your spaghetti. Glenzer saying eyes not in the right place. Wonder what the opinion is on Anna Taylor-Joy. Okay. Eyes are in the wrong place, but maybe I have to take another look. Glenzer is commenting that she's holding him cube stick style. And let's see, Eric and Boyd, hey, welcome. As you can see, we're rating Phantom Lady covers, and he gives it a 9. So I will put up the stop sign here. And let's see. So we got 2 7s, we got 7 9s, and we got 6 10s. And so that is 6 plus 7 is 13. Oh, wow. We're up to 15 folks here. Whoops.
It's pretty good.
137 divided by 15. And we have, it clicks over and stays in the 9s. So this is a 9 cover.
It's like our first 9.
Yep.
11 films. That's how many films William Powell made with Myrna Loy.
So, Venkman, if you can put that into the 9 category.
Sure.
And we are on to Phantom Lady number 19, and we are back to the good Dr. Venkman.
We're skipping you?
What's that?
Didn't Air Disco last time? First?
Let's see. No, I went first on the last one.
Okay. All right. Wow. Almost same position from the morgue, almost. Man. Pa, I'm going 10 all the way. I love it. Figure's drawn nicely. The outfit's drawn wonderfully. She's got a blue light
The
special.
fists are shaved.
Yeah, she's at Kmart. She's got the blue light special.
There you go.
I mean, you got the gangster with the fedora in the back.
Fedora!
And then you get the guy pretending to be knocked out and get close to her gams.
Those gams!
When she walks in the window, he wants to see up.
Yep. She's stopping crime. All right, a 10 from Venkman. Evil Black Cat.
Stopping hearts and crime.
A 9.
A 9. All right.
Actually, no, make it a 10.
A 10?
I love you,
Okay.
Black Cat.
A 10 from you. Melissa.
From you.
I think I'll give this one a 10 too. It's just a very exciting. It's just gloriously technically illustrated. Great hands, great pose. Like the use of a interesting a little bit of a superpowered science gimmick, and or just like it is exciting and. But still has a good layout, good pose. I like the font of the lettering and the detail in the brick and everything. The whole cover is exciting. And very adventurous. I like it.
Cool. All right, Amy.
Yeah, this is definitely a 10. It's just so exciting. It's got the wholly rendered background and nice framing with the window, and she's off to go solve some trouble right there. And these guys are all for making it. So this is going to be a good issue.
Yeah, I also like the little moral in the middle thing. Crime never pays.
That's right.
Thank
Phantom
you.
Lady's gonna get a refund.
All right,
Your crime.
Eric.
Those dudes in the background are going, totally worth it. This is absolutely a 10 also. If the side shot of her face, it's, I said he's getting better on those.
Yep.
And now obviously he's got more, room to work because it's, he's drawing it larger, but
Bigger picture.
yeah, this has everything you can want in a cover. I mean, she's hot. It tells what's going on. Plenty of background. Plenty of well, we got three thugs there. Yeah, this is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go along with the 10 too. I'm surprised that VENKMAN didn't point out no armpit hair. Again, that's shadow. Defining kind of the musculature there between the way the shoulder joint connects. But yeah, you can see how he's getting better. You can see the detail on the belt and the belt buckle. Now, just great all the way around. And let's see here what the chat has got. Spiffy, boy, he is our party pooper here tonight. He is not a Matt Baker fan, obviously. He gives it a 4. Says the face kind of ruins it. Everything else is decent, but they just have looked weird to me. Well, yeah, fair enough. Everybody has taste. Doesn't necessarily mean yours is good. But, everybody has an opinion.
Everybody has higher sentences.
Yeah. Jackson gives it a 10. Ethereal Dragon goes with an 8. So get that one in there. Eric and Boyd says a 10. He calls it an iconic cover. It certainly is. Mo Howard says 10 for the blue light special. Cleanser goes 10 as well. Maranya says there's drama, a hot cha-cha-cha pose using the powers. This is what a 10 cover should look like, so I give it a solid hot cha-cha-cha 10. All right. Rhaegar, 11 out of 10. If I have to explain why, you might be born special. No, we get it. Unfortunately, our scale only goes up to 10.
I mean, these were just made for me. The cheesecake, bro.
Yeah, and Jackson says this cover gets my spaghetti stirred. And Glitzer saying the cover artist making the one for DC Comics Cavalcade look like a goof, I think is how that is, because that stupid little thing they put in the corner now on the chat. There you go, goof. Yep. So I'm pretty sure as we add this up, we've got a 4, an 8, and 12 10s.
I think it's a 2, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to come out as a. Well, what's funny is oh god, dang it, the 4 and the 8. The last few, you know what? I'm making a command decision. This is a 10.
Yeah.
Screw it, it's a 10. I don't care what the numbers say.
You know, that's what they say at the White House. We don't care what the votes say.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like Trump on the train.
This time I will get the start up now. So we are on to Phantom Lady number 20, featuring the Ace of Spades. Black Cat.
Ace of Spades.
He's really been practicing his hands.
Yes.
Good for him.
Yep. Cat, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm just trying to look at the details, trying to see whether it's basically the scan's bad or if it's the coloring, and I say 8.
An 8. All right.
I mean, they say crime never pays, but if I get to see here every time I commit a crime, it's paid enough.
Yep. Melissa, what do you think?
I'm thinking an 8. Yeah, it's an exciting pose. The guy on the train, that's exciting. I do like the little crime never pays logo there.
Mm-hmm.
Her profile is it's a little, compared to the other pictures, a little unattractive.
Yeah.
It's a bit skewed.
Huh?
It's a bit
skewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, it's not quite, it's not quite 10 material for me, but it's a solid 8.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you might be a little askew if a train was about to run you down as well.
There's that. Oh yeah, look at that. That's where the tracks go. Yep.
Amy, how about you?
Yeah, this is. You don't need to eat that. This is a really exciting cover. The background and the layout isn't as cool as our awesome 10. So I guess if that one is like super awesome, this is
You think like normal awesome?
yeah, this is like probably normal awesome. I have to give him major props. I think he's finally got his hands conquered. So those are looking good. She's got her little accessories. I don't know how she's gonna stop the train with a blue light special, but I guess you have to open up the book and find out. So I'll give this a 9.
A 9. All right, Eric.
I said I'm just reading Jackson's last. A 2.0 gets over $1,000 on this book. I'm gonna give this an 8. That guy is either like 14 feet tall, or there is no leg room in the train, and he just had to open the sunroof.
You're saying the perspective's just a little off.
Just the perspective is a tad askew.
If he doesn't watch out, he's gonna get decapitated by October.
Yeah.
So,
but I do like the look of the train. Actually, I like the train better than I like the rendering of her on this cover.
yeah.
But it's still a solid 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go an 8 too. There's a lot to like on the cover, but as you said, there's just some flaws. And for me, at least, the biggest one is get rid of that featuring this issue of Ace of Spades. It just stuck right in the middle of the book, and it just pulls your eyes to that and kind of just takes away everything else. It just, get rid of the crime never pays, throw that little thing down in the corner and be done with it. You don't need both. And so it's an 8 for me. Venkman.
So if you look above her ear, there's a little white spot that kind of looks like a triangle. And then along with her sideburns, she kind of looks like Namorita.
I thought you were going to say she's a Vulcan.
No. But I can see a little armpit hair. I got to give it a 9.
A 9. All right. So yeah, I will say instead of spending $1,000, there's a really good PS art book that you can find. It is out of print as far as I know, but if you search around, you can find it for certainly under 100. You should be able to find it for 50 or less.
And if you're broke, you can read it for free online.
There is that. I didn't want to say that, but
is this in public domain? Is it golden?
Yeah, there are 2 PS art books, but I said they're out of. I guess they're both out of print.
But I think there's
them.
There is a site that has all the golden books.
Yeah, now that you mention it, there is. Shoot, I used to have the link to that. I might still have it buried somewhere. Yeah, there is a link that has a lot of the now public domain Golden Age story. So let's see what else we get from our chat here. Let's see, and thank you to the 18 people or so that are still watching. So please join in. Please rank the covers as they come up, and of course, after the video is over, you can certainly go in.
And post too.
Hey, okay.
Yo,
we have more people than usual, and they're sticking around. Is something different about tonight's that the other ones? I'm scratching my head trying to figure out what it might be.
Absolutely no comment on that one.
Onions.
Onions. So let's see here. We've got Glenzer going with an 8. We've got Maranya saying this would have been a higher score, but minor flaws bring it down to a 9. Yep, I can definitely see that. Eric and Boyd goes 8, as does Ethereal Dragon. Let's see, as Jackson mentioned, a graded 2.0. This one goes for over 1,000. I can tell you that 17 goes for at least twice as much as that. Actually, I think, what was it? There is an auction coming up on what was it? On My Comic Shop that starts tomorrow. You can bid for a Phantom Lady number 17. That is a CBCS 4.5. The estimates are that thing will probably go for about $10,000.
Well, in a 9.4, Comic Book Realm has it for 20.
Okay. And of course, I mean, you just don't see these come up for auction very often either.
And you can get more than that for what you just said. I mean, when was the last time anybody saw one?
Yeah.
Available.
Yeah, and let's see. Radar gives it an 8 as well. So again, if you're out there listening, please add your votes in there.
Breen, you're not gonna turn your camera on and pull it out of the couch?
Oh,
brother, if I had that one and the 2 horror books, I'd probably be in a lot better shape, between my ears than I am at the moment.
And let's see where this one is going to fall. It is going to fall squarely into the 8 category for now. So I will go ahead and put up the stop sign. And Jackson is saying, yeah, there's 2 hardcovers and 4 trade paperbacks that are all out of print. So I know I was super fortunate a bunch of years ago, going through a half-price books and coming across the what I didn't know at the time was a PS art book.
So my question is, her power is what? She basically blinds you with the black light?
Yeah, she's basically if you want to say she's basically a science hero, but she's also got gymnastics ability. She's trained.
So the reason she's not pointing the black light is she doesn't derail the train.
Probably.
Brother Jackson, if one has the 2 hardcovers, do they have everything that's in the paperbacks?
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not either, because that's
yeah. But I just know I was super fortunate, walking through a half-price books and looking. It was like, oh, family. Oh, I know this. Oh, this is cool. Let me pick this up. And it is sitting proudly on my shelf upstairs.
And you didn't pay like $200 for it?
No, I did not.
At full price books.
No, this I've had that for probably at least 5 or 6 years.
So half price books used to be half price books before the first Spider-Man movie, before the MCU, and now they're full price comic books.
Oh yeah, well, don't get me started. There's the comic book toy guy in the antique mall here in town, and his prices are borderline like Mile High Comics level. It's ridiculous.
So real quickly, I gotta ask, for your half price books for the comic section, do they keep them in a little wooden box, and there's a padlock, and you can kind of finger your way in there to move the things?
Yeah, so I don't have a half price books here anymore. This was when I lived back in Northern California. But yes, you are correct. They had the individual comic issues. Yes, in that locked box with the little top that you could thumb your finger through.
How many of those books were not begged and bored?
I would say actually, of course, again, it's been a bunch of years now since I've been there. They did a pretty good job of that. I would say most, if not all of them.
The one by me, they're like, oh, we want $80. It's like not even in a bag or board. It's just loose in there. I'm like, nope.
That is crazy. Let's see. We are starting off here. Phantom Lady number 21, and Melissa, you get to start us off on this one.
Actually, this one is a lot of fun. For a second, like her faux here, the eyes, they look modern. It kind of felt like I was looking at like a really good quality like manga illustration or something. Like from like the golden age of manga. It's an exciting pose. Their hands and everything's very exciting. I'm like, the scenery, it looks like she's opening a safe on the roof of a building or something. But that doesn't really make me like it any less. It's my favorite cover today so far. I think I'll go and give it a 10.
A 10. All right. Amy?
I kind of feel the same way. I guess that shouldn't be too big of a surprise, but it is a really clean and modern image. And these were made back in the 40s?
Yep.
Wow. It's the design really does look contemporary with the halter top and the cool, belted, clam diggers there. And she's going out looking for some jewelry in a safe or something like that. She's
stopping a robbery. She's stopping a robbery.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is clearly the bad guy in the book. So she's off to go stop a robbery. But it's just, I don't know. It's really interesting. Yeah, she's really cool. I'll give it so cool. I'll give that a 10.
All right. Eric,
9.
at 9.
Yeah, close to a 10, but I've seen better renditions of Phantom Lady on previous covers.
I get that.
But I think the safe cracker chick is perfect.
Cool, right? It's
Yeah,
like she's almost out of place. She's so well done.
It's
I
Madonna.
hope she becomes the flambeau to her Father Brown.
Well,
Yeah.
by the way, Melissa and Amy, I don't know how much you know about Matt Baker, but something that he was black at a time when they weren't exactly rolling out the red carpet for blacks at the time, and he also died in his 30s during the 50s. So we were robbed of decades of what could have been.
I thought he was also a doctor, and he had a box.
No,
He's so
No.
yeah. We really were robbed of a lot of great artists from that era, but it's beautiful work.
38. Jackson said.
Yeah.
Hey Jackson, did you hear my question? Do you know if that's if I have the 2 hardcovers, do I have everything that would be in one of the paperbacks?
Yeah, we'll find out. So, and if I know you're curious, so this issue here was published in December 1948.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
Yeah. So I am going to, as much as I want to kind of give this a 10, I am going to give it a 9 because her left hand just bothers the crap out of me. I kind of know what he was attempting to do, but it looks so odd. And if you try to draw it in your head, it's like her arm is completely deformed.
Okay,
she was going for the Vulcan nerve pinch and she ducked.
So how do you know that's even her hand?
That could be an unseen third person. Well, I mean, for the position where it comes under the D there, yeah, it very well could be a third person.
What if the girl going into the safe, that's her left hand you can't see?
Oh, well, that would be quite a stretch.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah. So Venkman, what do you give this?
I mean, they really want me to look at the sign that says "Crime Never Paid," but it's right next to her butt on purpose.
Yeah. So they really want to make you look at the sign. That
they want you to look away from the hand. Okay, that's the whole point.
Maybe she wants her to talk to it.
Oh, no.
The detail on the coins and jewelry are on the ground in front of the safe. The detail to the money, the bag of loot, the outfit, everything. I mean, I could give it a 9.
A 9. All right, and Black Cat.
I'll give this a 9 too.
A 9. All right. That is our panel. Let's go to the chat, and we will start out this time, it looks like, with a Glenzer, giving it a 7. And Maranya, she says, a Phantom Lady apprehending a rare female criminal. Very true. Both look very hot cha-cha. Simple but effective drawings tell the story well. Score this a hot cha-cha 10. So nice. A third 10 comes in. Ethereal Dragon gives it a 6, saying that the large amount of gray is a problem. Well, that's kind of what her weapon does. Eric and Boyd gives it a 10. Rhaegar gives it a 9 out of 10. It says, I think we've learned that crime does seem to pay quite well. Yeah, you could make that argument. Both Gratu and Jackson give it 10s. And let's see. And Jackson says, yeah, he was 38. Answer to Eric is that there are more pages in the trades than the hardcovers, but the actual issues look to be the same. So maybe there's more supplemental pages in the trades.
And then Eric says, thanks.
Yeah, well, and Rhaegar's talking about the thing from the Addams family and so on. And we go ahead and toss up the stop sign and let's see what we've got here. We have got a 6, a 7, 5 9s, and we've got 6 10s. So that is 11 divided by 13. That puts us in, just tips into the 9 category. So this is Phantom Lady number 21 is a 9.
I mean, looking compared to the art in here on the top, and then looking at the one down there, you can tell that's why it's not in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think there's no real question of that being the stronger illustration, but I just really appreciate the creativity and the design of the character there. That was just really neat. I'm like, oh, she's
And I was affected by the new character.
I
She
wonder
seems
if she ever like is late to a stop a crime and she has like a roller still in her hair.
she just stops to take it out while she's.
I don't know where your mind goes sometimes, but I'm glad I've never been there.
Yeah.
Eric, you have been. I think about you all the time.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here is issue number 22. And Amy, start us off. What do you think of issue number 22 here?
There's a lot to take in. Let me see. Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow. All right. I like the layout. I think it's got a really dynamic layout. The more if you look at it like too much, the perspective starts kind of going Escher-esque. But I get that he's making these choices because he has a narrative that he wants to tell. And, you know, darn the torpedoes. That's cool. I think it's funny that she's holding on to the little window thing here by her elbow. I'm like, that's cool. Like, she's kind of defying gravity, but he's, you know, giving a reason like why she.
Yeah, she is defying gravity.
Yep. She's not just like Spider-Man on the wall or something like that, or, you know, flying like Superman. She's like, nah, she's got to, she wants to use her ray gun her dark light at a good angle. She's got to climb up and kind of hang out of something and go, like, okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, she put that dark thing in there, so he crashed into the. Oh, that's neat.
Yep.
So you actually get to see like the result of her.
She tried to murder him. That's neat.
No, I mean it's kind of funny. Like I've seen her do this, and it turns like gray before, but this is like, oh, so they're driving along, and then it gets dark, and the light pole's not on. I guess even if it would be. But anyway,
Amy, you know,
her black light and covers them in the cloak of darkness. They can't see and run the car into the.
But that's not the true story. She drove their car, crashed it because she's a woman, and they shooting at her because he's mad.
So she snitched their car, she drove it into a pole, and then she escaped and climbed up this thing. Okay, and I guess that's what.
And she's got that.
She just dodged that. Okay, it's cool. I'm going to give it a 9.
A 9. All right.
Yeah.
Eric.
Okay, I was going to take a slightly different tack from Venkman. I was going to say this is the second cover in a row where she's apprehending a female villain. And you can tell because of the placement of the car. Good evening, Maranya's Cleaver. You're looking lovely this evening. I know she's brandishing it wherever she is.
I know.
I'm not real happy with the random puff of smoke blocking those gams, but now this is a 10. This is a great cover. Love it.
Yeah, I'm going to join you with a 10 in this one. Again, I love the story that it's telling, and again, you can see that Baker is at the top of his craft in terms of just how beautifully and artfully she's drawn, and all the other little details. Venkman.
No, I think it was Amy talking about the angle stuff. I think the angle looks pretty well for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously she's on the corner, you know, and guys shooting at her. At first I thought like, well, the road's really messed up. Then I realized that's her negative light. The rest of the road's down to the left.
Right.
But that guy's a horrible shot. I mean, I don't know if
he's
he's really
also shooting in the dark.
I know.
Hmm?
And you'd think one of those bullets would hit her because she sits there for too freaking long. You know, she needs to move. But overall, I mean, that cabin over there is only 10 cents for the window.
That's pretty good.
I know, right? For renting.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 10.
But it's only for February.
Can I just say real quick? Now, if that guy was the driver of that car, how did those tiny legs reach the pedals?
I guess the pedals are a bit closer now.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's the driver. I think he got out, you know, from the past.
That's either one big car, or one small dude.
Wait, do you think that's Pixel?
All right,
He
Kat.
probably had a booster seat. or
Yeah.
something like
So, so Kat, are you going to give this cover a boost?
that. No, I'm gonna give it a drop and put it on the 8s.
The 8s. All right, and Melissa.
The crazy 8s.
I kind of like to imagine that the spot where the bullets hit, that the building's is inflated and
Or hit the steam pipes that are just inside the brick.
Oh.
I mean, is she hanging on a fire escape? What is she hanging
Probably.
I
off
think
of?
that
Yeah.
has to be a fire escape.
Yeah,
or
it's a piece of a fire escape.
Let's
So-
see.
She must be really tall that she's able to jump up and reach it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. If
I think I'm gonna call it a 9.
A 9. All right. Let's see what the chat says. Let's see. Jackson is saying that spaghetti does make you score lower than normal. We'll see. We might have to put that to the test. Meanwhile, Glenzer and Gratu both go on the 10 train. Ethereal Dragon gives it an 8. Rhaegar is saying MC Escher. Yeah, they're a little bit there. Eric and Boyd goes with an 8. Rhaegar says a 9 because she made them crash, as well as Jackson giving it a 9. And Maranya says she's hanging from a fire escape, implying peril and drama, using the powers. Well rendered, good girl art, right perspective with the car and thugs. Score it a dramatic 10. And Eric is saying, don't run off the Lester lasses. They're not going anywhere.
If we haven't gotten rid of them yet, they're not leaving.
Yeah, and then so Marani there is trying to give you the cleaver emoji, but apparently YouTube doesn't have one yet. And Eric is saying the background off the curb or block behind the street is too off for him with the perspective and the angle. I usually don't explain, but it bothers him. Yeah, well, again, it's one of those things where if you see something that just looks out of place that bugs you, once you see it, you can't stop seeing it. And so I totally get that. So let's see here what we've got. We've got 3 8s, we've got 4 9s, and we've got 6 10s. So that is divided by 13. And that puts us in the 9 category.
Oh,
nice.
So, yep. Or as, E would say, well, you've got those 3 8s that take away a few of the 10s, and then you take the 9s and the other ones, and it just drops it below 9.
And you put your leg in and you
put it in a 9. So there you go. Works out the same way.
The hokey smoky.
Yep.
That's what it's
So-
all about.
All right. So we are down to the final issue from the Fox run. And this sadly is, I believe, the final Matt Baker one, although actually it might be a different cover artist on here. But Eric, take us away here with Phantom Lady number 23.
Let me see. I'm going to go 9. It's simple. Not sure where they are. It looks like they're in some kind of wooden ship. But she's got the right look of kind of fear on her face. The thug that apparently is either part raccoon or wearing some kind of mask. But
It's scary.
you got to admire a well-dressed thug.
Yeah.
And I said she's bound, so points for that. So yeah, 9.
All right, and 9. I am. Yeah, I'm back and forth because it's not Matt Baker, as Jackson says. It's Jack Kamen, and you can see the differences in terms of the hair is a little bit different, the face is a little bit different. He changed the costume in terms of the strap, connecting the top and how it goes around her neck. And it is drawn nicely, but it's just not Matt Baker for me. I'll still go a 9 because the other things that you say do have validity. So Venkman, what do you think?
This is what's his name? Jack Lehman? I think
Jack Kamen.
Jack Kamen wants us to focus on the boobs right there. That's why he has the guy wearing the mask looking at the boobs because he doesn't want reputation to be ruined. Dude, this is a 10.
A 10. All right.
Women in peril and ropes bondage, bro. Hot babes.
And I see
Shape
William Martin
carpets.
join the
Right.
chat. So Evil Black Cat.
I'll go with the number of cents it has for April, the month of April.
Okay, so you're going with a 10.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
These actually look intriguing, and you want to check the stories. The first few did not. Like, they
Yep.
were just generic scenarios. This one is more, okay, so she's in trouble. What happens next?
Okay, fair enough. Melissa.
Okay. Well, it's expertly drawn. It's not often you see, art this skillfully rendered,
Mm-hmm.
in modern comics. But it's still very impressive.
It has problems, but
I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's I not I think I'm gonna go with an 8. I respect your own opinions, but it's just not bringing me as
Yeah,
much happiness as some
Fair enough.
others.
I was borderline 8, 9, so I totally get it. Amy.
Yikes. It's got a lot of problems in it, and it's not as imaginative as the one where she's got the two little people. So I'm kind of having a hard time with this. I'm thinking either a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
Mm.
Go with your gut.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go with it. Yeah, I think I'll go with a 7. I'm trying to find something to crank it up a little more, but the colors in her face are nice. That's
I mean, the proportions are done well.
she's got some issues. He's got some issues.
Yep, fair enough. Let's see.
But none of us have this issue, though.
The chat has let's see. Glenzer gives it an 8. Gratu and Ethereal Dragon go 10s. Eric Boyd says a 9. And Jackson Roykert gives it a 9, asking if that's the Shadow. I don't think it is. I don't think we were doing crossovers at this point. Maranya says, Peril, Bondage, well rendered overall, but has minor flaws, so that will make this a 9. And see some musical references there. And Fox on the Run. Get that song stuck in your head. Rhaegar gives it a 7. And let's see, we need that hook for the ratings, says Cleanser. And MK, how you doing, man? Yes, I am leading this tonight, and he gives this a 10 and says, oh, the outfit is nice too.
And Jackson
So
says, too much spaghetti.
Well, the Raccoon Bandit is pretty cool.
Well,
if his name is Raccoon Bandit, then I'll bet around.
Maybe they push you back up to an 8.
Yeah, that would,
yeah.
that would do it.
And that is a spaghetti strap that's holding up her top.
Oh, well, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
So, but let's see. We got 2 7s, 2 8s, we got 5 9s, and we got 5 10s. So that will put us at just shy of a 9. So I'm going to throw it out there to the group, 8 or 9.
What did you get?
It came out to an 8.9.
I would say
Oh, that's
Oh,
close.
that's 9.
Well, that's
9.
not-
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's absolutely.
Well, we'll throw it. We'll throw it in the 9s then.
because it's still nice. It's just
It's very good. It is good.
relative to everything else, and these have all been some amazing covers. So.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
Let me. I'm going to ask the Lesters a question.
yeah.
I notice you're finding flaws in these covers. Is it possible that a lot of the techniques that you guys take for granted now that are so commonplace just may not have even existed 70 plus years ago?
Now that's That is an interesting question because there's a lot of like you're talking about like the Danish masters who are doing in like the romantic era, and then there was the fusing of like the classical fine arts into the golden age of like illustration, where they were developing a lot of printing techniques. And yeah, I mean, that's always a consideration too when I'm looking at stuff. And honestly, I do like a certain amount of primitiveness in art. Like I tend to prefer art that's a little more raw than something that's too polished, because I think it can lose its character. So I mean, I get that. And it's weird because some of the art that you see in like comics from the 50s, like if you look at the way that they're proportioned, like a lot of them clearly took classical art training and took life drawing, because their overall proportions are generally more correct and their posing's more correct. Whereas a lot of contemporary artists grew up drawing nothing but comic books. So while their drawings may be more dynamic, they're less grounded in reality. So then in some aspects, some of their things can be more interesting or more dynamic, but less technically correct.
Robbie Field was kind of a major pioneer in that.
Yeah. And then you have people who grew up doing nothing but copying his art, and you start getting problems in a big hurry.
You know what this comic means, though? More Ed Wood.
Does he draw at all? I don't know.
Well, better Ed Wood than Bob Wood, because Bob Wood kills people. So there's.
But yeah, and so I don't know a lot about the history of that particular artist or this particular studio, but I've seen some covers from like some of the previous issues we've looked at from like the Detective Comics, and even like some of Spider-Girl, that was more modern,
Actually,
but
comics,
some of the hand shapes and stuff like that, like that's really classic life drawing. I mean, that was just like a life drawing sketch that they just put into a cover. I'm like, that was really well done. They maybe even had a model for that one. And that's an interesting point, because this would have probably been introducing the point in time where artists stopped using models for everything. So a lot of the stuff that would have been done in like the romantic era probably would have had models for life drawing references, at least to get the sketch done, where stuff like this was being drawn quickly and people were having to render everything they knew out of their head without necessarily reference. So I would love to know more about the history of that, and of these individual artists, their backgrounds and their training and things like that. If there's
their processes.
Yeah, their processes. I would love to know more about that. So I'm just taking this and comparing it to everything else I've seen so far this evening. And, you know, that whole, I like it, or I think this is kind of an issue, and just trying to, you know, come up with a score that's like, how much I enjoy this, how much I don't.
A few moments later.
Well, I would say, I mean, I would say that it doesn't apply to the one we just saw, but you know, I would imagine that Matt Baker didn't have access to the best possible, you know, tutelage because he was black.
Because yeah, absolutely. And
I
that would probably explain why so much of his art had so much style and flair and looks so freaking modern.
Yeah,
which is what makes it really interesting. It's kind of like jazz music, and a lot of things where there's a lot of talent and practice but not classical training, you end up with something that's almost more timeless somehow and oddly modern. It's fascinating. I love seeing art develop that way. But then I like Ken Nielsen too, and he's a golden age artist, and his drawings are incorrect all over the darn place, but graphically interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about art. It can be good for a million different reasons. So in the scope of something like this, you just compare it to everything else in the category.
And what one finds off-putting, the other can find the exact same thing appealing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Eric, can I interest you in my comic shop right now has a issue 22. It is a 0.5 for $736.
Is that all?
Nice.
Is that all? Yep.
Let me check the couch cushions.
Wait. Is that just a single page?
No. It is. You can take a look at it. The cover is pretty beat to hell. It's also got a tear or a piece missing in the upper right hand corner. So opposite the fold. on the front side, and then the back side's got some spots and some places where you can see the spine was taped together at a point. So yeah, you can still pick one up. So all right, so we are going to switch over. There are 4 more books to look at. So sadly, Phantom Lady, the run ended at issue 23 with Fox in April of 49. A company called Ajax brought back a very short run in 1955. And this is the first issue from that run. And let me throw the stop sign up, or the start sign, rather.
Yeah, John Cleese is in there.
Let's see. Check that, LK. The site didn't update for my purchase. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jackson. I'll have to check tomorrow to see if your check's cleared with my comic shop and it's no longer in the inventory. So I will kick this one off here. Definitely different. I'm not 100% sure if I don't think Matt Baker was doing this.
It definitely isn't Matt Baker.
Yeah, it doesn't look like his. Well, I mean, first off, you can tell too they radically, well, I'll say changed the costume a little bit. Gon is showing the midriff, and it's all in one piece.
Well, there's no more cleavage either.
Yeah, well, yeah, the kind of the one piece, halter top. I mean, it's a decent action, but honestly, too, with the fact that her arm, which also looks a little rubbery there, swings up and basically covers half her face. So essentially, the artist didn't have to draw her mouth. Really detracts from it, and also the weird scientist, that would be what his left arm is kind of getting bent and seems like it's twice as long as his right one.
Well, she's ripping it off. That's why it's black there.
It could be that. So I mean, again, it's not bad. I'm gonna go with a 7 on this one. So Venkman.
I had to look to see if that was a tie or that was a guy's foot down the bottom right there. That was weird for a second there. Yeah, you start covering up my girl. That brings it down to a 7.
Yeah.
It's just the ugly green cover behind there. This isn't war. Blasting the lid off the ringside rackets. It's, dude. At this point, she gets shot with a gun. At this point, what are they thinking? With a kind of cover like this, she seems like the type that blind you the light, and then it would cause you to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I don't think she gets physical with you, but apparently they're seriously implying that she does.
Oh, yeah. Well, then she in the other series, I mean, she would still time to time throw a punch or usually actually more like swing off of something and kick somebody in the head or the stomach.
Right.
And like, how does she hit the guy in the chin? So what, with this guy's hand that she just bent up? Like,
or it could have been her arm, swinging forward like she's trying to clear a rebound and she caught the guy with her elbow or something. But
either way, OSHA needs to be called. That needs to be an OSHA certified lab. If it's not, they're in trouble. Yeah.
Not to be confused with OSHA from the Acolyte. So Black Cat, your thoughts? What's your score?
It's gonna be a 7 for me.
7. All right.
Yeah, the backgrounds detail, the color details in the background are good, as in not the color details. Basically, the background's detailed enough. It looks interesting enough, but the faces and the poses, not so much.
Yep. All right, Melissa.
Huh. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward a 7 too. I mean, I said the details on the desk or the beakers in there, those very nicely rendered. The vat of acid that got poured on the desk is really suspenseful, and the struggle, the scene of the struggle up front is like it's a little interest. It's kind of an interesting pose, but it just feels a little creepy. And some of the actions are a little hard for me to grasp completely, but it is still very well. It's still a well rendered comic, so I'm going to give it a 7.
All right, and Amy.
Yeah, I would say 7 for this too. Pretty much the same things. Nicely rendered background elements, but it's got some problems in it too. I do love seeing her cape back, however. That's great.
It is good to have the cape back.
Yep.
Love having her cape back.
You know, I didn't even notice that the cape went missing. Eric.
I'm going to say a 6. I'm not the kind of the thing that made Phantom Lady who she is that her costume is very, very revealing, very sexy.
Mm-hmm.
This is neither. I'm not a big fan of the Medusa hair.
Yeah.
Or that you can't see all of her face. And I guess the guy she's grabbing, that's like a prototype dabbing.
Or she's a dab instructor. She's really, really passionate about it.
Although I will say, I love the background is better than the people.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on that table.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think as Melissa pointed out, yeah, I mean the beakers are really well rendered in that, and you just wish the same detail or attention had been given to.
As I said, the guy in the bottom right, it just looks so weird to me.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see what our chat says here. Gratu disagrees with all of us and says this is a 10.
All right.
Glinzer gives it an 8. And Rhaegar says either that scientist is very weak or she is really strong. Also an 8. And Eric and Boyd joins us with a 7. Ethereal Dragon says a 5. Maranya says more of a superhero style dynamic cover with the hero style costume. Great details, even with the nitpicky flaws. This is an 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
MK says it's a 7. He kind of agrees with you, Venkman, about the position being odd. With the scientist guy, and is she using telekinesis against the dude in the orange suit? And Jackson gives it a 6. There we go. And
unless maybe he slipped off the contents of the beaker.
Yeah, right? Like
So
he might be a victim of the scientist dude, maybe?
And is he slamming into the wall behind her? That's what it looks like. The head? I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be.
Seems like the focus of his situation seems to be centered on his chin.
Right.
His misfortunes are chin related somehow.
But we don't see anything.
There's no motion lines.
His chin.
Yeah.
I guess you have to open the book and find out.
Maybe his chin has powers.
Oh,
he's called the Chin. That's his like supervillain name or superhero name. Maybe
whenever there's his
Crimson Chin,
he pulls his body out of harm's way. So now his chin is pulling him like out of the building.
But you don't see there's actually Dollman's there helping her.
He's Chinese.
Ooh,
he's singing.
All right, so we got 1 5, 2 6s, 7 10s, 3 8s, and a 10, and that comes out to just over a 7. So it reaches the 7 category.
So,
personally for me, that would be by far the weakest 7.
So if you look at the photo I just put up there on the thumbnail that he has for this, it's a dark green background.
Hmm.
And it's a little color difference,
Yeah. So and Jackson, you said you went for buying the 0.522, but see, I thought you would have bought the 7.5 number 15 that they're selling for $5,900. Now I think that's more your speed. All right, so we are going to the second issue of the Ajax series here for Phantom Lady.
Oh.
And let's see, I did the last one, so that means Venkman, you're up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me look at this cover here. Man, that guy on the right looks like a dog person. A hybrid. I guess these are sailors. They're on shore leave. Maybe they're Irish. We don't know.
This is
That's a whale with a bomb.
Well, I think with this being the mid 50s, that they are either Japanese or Chinese. I'm thinking maybe Chinese.
And yeah, there's some kind of
So,
plane or boat behind her in the yellow. And she's
is that a
sitting on
ship? This is a airline.
She's saying doomed to those who would destroy our country. So,
So it
they're
looks like she
definitely
came
for-
on that. I think she came in on that ship behind her, the left, like a speedboat, kind of like a futuristic thing.
Yeah.
And then the guy has looks like clippers. He's gonna clip something, and she just basically kicked him in the face.
Oh yeah, look at that.
An eye for an eye. Witness.
Mhm.
Yeah, Chuck Norris.
Eye for an
Man.
eyewitness.
I gotta say it's about a 7. I mean,
Seven.
look at the face on that guy on the right, the bottom right. That is
Mhm.
that he is like a counter Earth guy.
All right, fair enough. Black Cat.
It's gonna be a 6 for me.
6.
Yeah.
All right. Any particular reason or?
It's a little cluttered, like too much is going on.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically it's a little cluttered and a little chaotic, so you don't know what's happening with who. So she's kicking that one guy. Other people are running from her at different angles, but what's going on with the guy that's dropping the dynamite? Or who's
Yeah.
dropping the dynamite? So like
Let's
it's
let's-
busy, it's angled, you don't know who's reacting from what.
Yeah.
In-
No, fair enough.
the
So
dynamite's attached to that bomb though in the water though.
They're communist Russians.
They are.
Hey, look real careful. The guy in the bottom left is wearing a gray hat with a sickle and hammer on it.
Ah,
oh, yeah, you're right.
cool.
So, yeah. This is the depiction of, as I said, either Russian or Chinese, because that would have been the era for
Well,
this.
behind him is Chinese on the left.
Yeah. So, Melissa, what's your score?
The patriotism is kind of nice. It is kind of a confusing cover to look at. It's like this little shark, and they fight with bundled sticks of TNT. That's kind of an interesting choice. I think I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay. And Amy?
Okay, so there's a shark and it's helping her fight because the shark just threw this dynamite up at these communists. And this looks like the most amazing thing ever. And this is the first time I've seen her say anything, I think.
That's true.
And her first thing we see her say is doomed to those who would destroy our country. I mean, that's pretty epic. And she's got her cape, and I love this, and I want to read it. And yes, it has problems, but it's so exciting looking. I'm giving it a 10.
Oh, that's nice.
That's 10. Okay. All right. Eric.
Shark with
Yeah.
dynamite.
See, I guess I guess my eyes must not be working that well because I read that as she finally speaks. I read I'd like to speak to your manager.
No.
I'm
So,
gonna,
Phantom Karen is what you're saying.
I'm gonna give this a 7 because I like the background characters. It looks like she's just swooped in and she's waiting for Popeye to show up and help her defeat the well-dressed members of Goon Island.
Cool.
That would be cool.
So you're saying you're saying she's a little on the thin side.
But no, like I said, even though a couple of the I'm guessing Chinese, man, there are some shrunken heads on this cover, especially the guy in the back there. I mean, it's.
Oh, yeah.
But I do like this one better. It's there's a little bit more going on, and I said, this is 7.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, based on a lot of the covers we've seen before, there's a lot going on. I know that it's trying to go more of a traditional like superhero style pose, but it's not really working for me. So this is getting kind of my lowest score of the night, and I'm going with a 6 on that one. So let's see what the chat says here. Let's see. They're talking about, so the band at the top, as they said, that was so you could read it better, see it on the newsstand, because the top would show up. So you'd see the little band and say, you know, because it has the months there. So that kind of makes sense. So Glinzer has it as an 8. Gratu, another 10. And let's see. Marani says, despite the redesigned costume, she is still a hottie. Great drama, action, and rendering overall. Score a 10. All right. Eric and Boyd says a 7. Seems to be a popular number here. But Jackson goes 8, even though this is her first speaking role on a cover. Let's see. Rhaegar says outfit's not revealing enough. Setting seems out of place. This is more a job for Captain America or the Avengers or the Justice League. So he is giving it a 6. And Ethereal Dragon. Okay. If you've been trying to figure out how Ethereal Dragon scores these, I don't have a clue because he gives this a 9. When he's given so many of the other covers like 6s and 7s, he gives this one a 9. So go figure.
Shark with dynamite.
Shark with dynamite.
That's pretty awesome.
It could be the shark with the dynamite. Rhaegar's talking about, in fairness, due to the history of how many children Genghis Khan seeded, there are very many people of Asian descent in Russia or the old Soviet Union. That's true. Dan, hey, welcome. He's giving a flat rate 9 for this entire run. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm betting these stories are not nearly as good as the first series. I will probably agree with you with that. Just kind of looking at what's on my comic shop. It also seems to they've kind of gone back to there's one Phantom Lady story and then there's other stories with other characters in it. And then MK goes with a 7. So we've got quite a variety here. We've got 3 6s, 5 7s, and we've got 2 8s, 2 9s, and 3 10s. So that's 5, 10. Oh, wow, 15. So that comes out to a 7.8. So I guess we are going to have to listen to the crowd and put that as an 8.
I think that's not like a
It's a
travesty.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
So while the majority of the votes were
Three's fun,
7s, it's those 9s and 10s that kind of outweigh it and push it up to the 8 category.
I think when the cover's really ambitious, I think it's easier to overlook some of the troubles. Like if it's a really minimalistic cover, then really fix those couple of issues because that's all I got to do. This is
so everywhere.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah, okay.
This shows the cleavage in the thighs that they're originally doing, and they'd all be 10s.
Yeah. All right. So our penultimate cover here is the 30 Ajax series. And Evil Black Cat, you get to start us off on this one. What do you think?
What's that cover?
This I'll go with an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
All right.
She looks a little hunchbacked here, but
I mean, she's dragging.
is she pulling the guy towards the train or trying to get him off the track? Because
I think
trying to get him off.
she's going to
Yeah.
place him on the tracks.
No,
Oh no, my heel got stuck in the
question.
tracks.
It depends if he's a good guy or a bad guy.
I mean, what if her heel gets stuck in the track?
Well, there is that possibility, but you never know. So,
What if-
all right, an
Oh.
8 from the cat and Melissa.
I really enjoyed it when it just I don't know, it just kind of sparked something in me. The illustration is very solid. Her arms are very well drawn.
Yeah,
Good
even-
profile. The man is. It's not an easy pose to draw a guy in, and the folds in the fabric are very thoughtfully rendered and well inked, and the train that's an exciting train, and the track's solid, the perspective's solid. It's really pretty. I think I'll call it a 10.
Okay, and Amy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll give this a 10 too. It's kind of a simple image, but when you look at how cleanly like her arm is rendered and her leg and her foot, it's a simple image, but it's done really, really well. But I do like the elements with the train. It's got a lot of cool details in there, and they got their drafting tools in there to get those lines just so. This was done really, really nicely, and it's exciting. I want to find out what's going on and who's this guy and why is she saving him from. I mean, she's saving him from the train because she's a hero, but
Yeah.
how did he end up there? I don't know. It seems exciting. I want to know more. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, Eric, do you agree?
I almost. I give us a 9.
Okay.
This is probably the most covered up she's ever been on one of these covers, but there's no way to not sound sexist by that. I love that she's got high heels on now.
Those are cute.
Yeah.
Look at those. boobs.
It
Those
just
are
it said it's because we're dealing in fantasy here, so
Mhm.
the old how can Black Canary fight in high heels, blah blah blah, because it's a comic book.
Yep.
Yeah.
It makes her look so much more sexy as a character. Yeah, then in the background you got the train barreling down on him, and so and is she going to get the guy off the train and out of the tracks in time? This works. This is definitely solid 9.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, did you notice something different from this cover from all the other previous covers we've seen?
The Comics Code Authority signal.
Oh
Ding,
yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
Wow. So this is what 1955 or 6 now.
This is April 1955.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's
So
cool.
that also, I think that also explains why the first 2, issues in this, because it was still early 55.
Mhm.
Why we started seeing her, covered up is because while the Comics Code wasn't,
They knew what was coming. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah,
I'm surprised the code didn't squash the heels, honestly.
yeah. Well, and what's funny is you mentioned the heels, and if you go back and look at the earlier covers, it seems like Matt Baker drew her most often wearing flats.
Yeah, they're all. This is the first time she's had heels.
Yeah. Which I think is interesting when you think about how sexy those covers are
Mhm.
and definition of the good girl art, that he drew her in sensible shoes for what makes
Yeah.
sense.
So going back to what Evil Black Cat, is she a heel?
She has more than her heels.
Um,
Those are cute heels.
They're cute heels.
yeah. So I'm going to agree with Eric here. I'm going to go a 9. Yeah, it's drawn really well. There's just a few elements that just kind of bug me, and one is I just hate where the words are dumped on the cover. It really distracts from the image for me.
Introducing America's most daring adventurer, the sensational Red Rocket.
Yeah. You've got that, and then even worse positioning is that in this issue, Yankee Doodle Luck and Television Spies. If they were clever, they should have put that right between her legs. But so I'm going the 9. Venkman, what do you think?
I'm going with a 9 too. I want to know who's driving that train right there. Is he looking on, be like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna run over people, 10 points,"
Yeah.
or he's like, "Oh crap, they're gonna derail the train if I run over them."
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you do see the engineer poking out.
Yeah.
there.
It's a cool
He's
detail,
driving
right?
that train.
He's like,
and
"Oh, not again! The 5th
Yeah,
time."
And he's
he's
got the
high
right
on
size
cocaine.
screen.
He's got the red light special going too.
That train. Is he out of cocaine? So let's see here what the rest of the chat has.
Kind of
So
like a Steve Trevor.
Yeah,
So I was thinking-
Gratu has it with a 10 rather. Glenzer gives it a 9. Rhaegar goes 9, says heroic and more street level heroics, pretty looking, profile of Phantom Lady. Dan Alvin says, yep, that's a 9 for me. Eric and Boyd joins and says an 8. Jackson says, oh, placing him on the tracks. I was on a date like that once. I'm sure you were, and I'm sure you deserved it. And Jackson gives it an 8.
That wasn't a date. That was
Glenzer also notes that she went from flats to high heels. Eric and Boyd says she's pulling him. At least she isn't pulling a train. Yes, I went there. Okay, yeah, I see that. Maybe I shouldn't have read that one. Jackson says, oh, change mine to a 9. All right. I'll change that to a 9. Ethereal Dragon goes with a 7. Let's see. Battle Comics Authority. MK says he likes it. 10 for me. Great scene. Saving the guy from the train. She looks like Betty. What's her face? Has heels, which is hot, and a Superman cape. What's not to like? Gives me Wonder Woman saving Steve Trevor vibes. All right.
Yeah.
So MK is a big fan of that one. Yeah, Dan says they probably started using heels to compensate for the lack of skin allowed under the code. And let me double check. I don't see Maranya with a score yet.
Maybe
So
she had to go to bed.
Yeah, it's very possible. I will put up the stock here for now, but we can always
Did you
always
report?
change that. So we wind up at the moment with a 7, 2 8s, 7 9s, and 4 10s. So that is 11, 12, 13, 14. And that gets us, wow, it's a 9.
That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
It is a straight 9.
Maranya comes with a 4. Dare you?
Yeah. Well, I still think even if she came in with a 1, that it would still keep it in the 9 category. But you never know. All right, so we are down to our final cover tonight, and Melissa, you get to kick us off on Phantom Lady number 4, and sadly, the final Phantom Lady cover for quite a while.
Don't kick too hard.
Huh. This is my reply to what price protection?
Hmm?
The meanest, and in this issue, the meanest men in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like extortion, right?
There's the black. Oh, this is the first time she's used her blue light special on the
Yeah.
on the cover
That's
in
big.
quite a while, since pre-code.
So what do we got here?
Here.
There's a guy. He's in a
Tank.
Tank, and
It
he's
feels almost dreamlike.
I know, right? There's some people running away. Okay, so it looks like I guess the tank's just rolling through a city or something like
he's
that.
headed to work.
Hmm?
He's just headed to work.
He's headed to work in the city in his tank.
Yeah.
He's headed to work in a mini tank that the treads go over, and who knows what's going on.
And these two guys behind him, they're just late for work at the office, so they're just running off in the other direction. Not panicked because there's a tank, but
Because they're late for work.
Or are we supposed to be like an X-ray version? There's no window there. We're just seeing him through the tank. He's on the inside.
Huh. Well, let's see. Okay, well, I gotta choose something. I would. Maybe it's just like the phrase. This is my reply to what price protection. Seems
a bit
confusing. And that guy, I don't know. He looks like his face is melting or something, but I don't know if that's on purpose or not.
I think that's just kind of skewed. It's a strange.
Maybe the guy held the city hostage, and he said, "Unless you pay me money, I'm gonna start blowing up things."
Maybe. No, but the structure in her hand and hair is good. I think, and the details and rivets in the tankish device. It just looks like something out of a dream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with maybe 7. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, Amy.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'll go 8 because I love seeing her little blue light special back on the cover. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But
her belt's monogrammed. It says PL.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So she's got the monogram belt and the cape. You got to give points for that too. But it's really, I've been looking at this a while and I'm still not sure what's going on. So, yeah, I feel like an 8. It's cool and I like the colors and the posing and stuff like that. But it's a little hard to read. So, but it's still, all the art on these is really nice.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really seen a bad cover yet. Just various levels of awesome.
Yeah.
If there was a shark with some dynamite, throwing dynamite into the situation, I'd give it more points. But
Sadly, no dynamite sharks.
no dynamite sharks.
Okay, so an 8. So and I was just kind of flipping through online the issue. So the whole thing about price protection is that basically she's trying to help a friend who's got a snack shop, and these guys are running a protection racket.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
So,
I see.
Yeah, but
She's stopping some
weirdly,
rackets. Okay.
yeah, weirdly, it doesn't appear a tank comes into play. So I think they took a little bit of liberty there on the cover. With it.
Okay. All right. That
Eric, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 8 on this. I like what's going on with her shining that thing in that guy's face, but what I'm more wondering is, what are the two guys under her cape? Where are they going?
They're running away. So
From the tank thing?
they're running away as she is taking on those guys. I'm gonna go an 8 as well. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but this is one of the better post Matt Baker drawings I think of her, despite her being fully clothed the way she is. But
well, she's gorgeous still. Yeah.
yeah, and as somebody said in the chat, I think they did a good job. Or Jackson said, of copying Baker's face and hair that he created for her. So I'm going at 8. Venkman.
I'm going at 9. I mean, this could go two different ways. She's blinded the guy with science, and he runs her over. 'Cause I don't know if she's on the side or if she's in, just off to just a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
Also, she's flying backwards. Her hair is going forward.
Good point.
Yeah, and we got wow, Dumb and Dumber in the background.
Yep. All right, and Black Cat, what do you got?
I'm going to go with a 5.
A 5. Ooh, wow. What don't you like about this?
Well, I have no idea what's happening with that guy. Is he like in a tank or something? Because you can see a gun pointing at her, and you can see those what do you call those wheels
Treads?
on tank? Yeah, treads.
So tanks had guns that shoot out to the sides of them.
Yeah,
With little
but
slots for people to hide in there. So you might be
goes
looking for a
over the
slot.
tread.
Yeah,
It's a very
that could be it. But then again, how short is she? If that's the thing. Also, those guys running. Like
All
it's
right.
a cluttered. It's a little not cluttered. It's just confused. It's a confusing cover.
All right. Now let's see what our chat has. Gratu kicks us off with a 10. Glenzer and Eric Boyd give it both a 6. Jackson gives it a 9. Eric notes he's driving Killdozer. Yes, I saw the memes going around again last week. We were the anniversary of the Killdozer. Godspeed, gentlemen. Your actions are remembered. Rhaegar has a 6. MK's got an 8. Ethereal Dragon's got a 6. Glenzer notices that her face is nice, but her body has awful scoliosis, and the dialogue is confusing. Fair enough. Maranya is back, says most definitely an 8 with the use of her powers and well-drawn cover. Yes, Glenzer's asking, the protection racket has a tank. It doesn't appear the tank actually factors into anything. So I think that was just something that they threw in on the cover. So that leaves us with a 5, 4 6s, a 7, 5 8s, 2 9s, 10. And so 5, 10, 12, 14. That will put us into the 7 territory. So those 5s and 6s drag down the 8 and knock it into the 7s. So, and that's it for the Phantom Ladies of the 1940s and 1950s. After that, she went away for quite a while until I think the next return was when they brought her back into the Freedom Fighters books. Is that right, Eric?
I can't think of anything in between. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, I think by that time it was no longer. Was she still Sandra Knight?
I can't remember. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I have to think about it, because then, of course, when AC Comics comes along, originally it's the Blue Bulleteer, but her name's Laura Wright. and I want to say they. I'm trying to remember. I want to say loosely, kind of, sort of, her daughter, something along the lines of that, before she gets injured and then becomes Night Vale. I know then later on, and there was another version of Phantom Lady, in a different version of the Freedom Fighters, Misty Knight.
Misty
That
Knight.
was, yeah.
Same name as the Marvel character.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, and she winds up, I want to say, getting blown up with
I
the
think
rest
you mean Jennifer Knight.
in the 90s. Okay,
Well,
or no,
I know-
Misty, Stormy Knight. That's it.
Terminator killed her in one of her iterations at DC.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a version called Stormy Knight, because she's got the green and yellow outfit, and it's that period where the Freedom Fighters are more almost like media celebrities. So so they kind of basically kill them all because they're not up to the task, so to speak. But with
No,
all
the
of
Freedom Fighters get killed, like they get ambushed by whatever the villains group was in Infinite Crisis, and Deathstroke just kills everyone.
okay, I thought. Let's see. MK is asking, is this the same chick who winds up with the Legionnaires in the future? No. As far as I know, there's no relationship between Phantom Lady and Phantom Girl from the Legionnaires. Tina Wazo, I believe. So, but yeah. So with all these covers, if we look at the way we've got this balanced out, we can see 3 covers made the 7s. Nothing lower than a 7. And I think, from based on where the 7s are, I think those are fairly stacked up. Then we've
Stacked.
got stacked.
Okay, the one that gets killed is called D. Tyler. She was which one? Sandra Knight's, what do you call it? Protege or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
she gets
yeah.
slaughtered with the rest of the Legion. Not
Okay.
Legion, Freedom Fighters.
The Freedom Fighters, yeah. Okay, so yeah, comics, kids. From the 8s there, I think that's a pretty good alignment, unless you wanted to move the blonde in front of the Morgue, but I'm good with that lineup. Then we've got 5 9s, and let's see. From that lineup, I'm good. I mean, unless you wanted to move the Fire Escape one to the 2nd, I think for me personally, I think the best 9 is still her with the cape with the 2 small people. But I'm open to any suggestions there. And then we've got the 2 10s, and with the iconic number 17 there at the top. So I will open it up. Venkman, which is your favorite cover of the night? Okay. Black Cat, what's your favorite cover of the night?
Favorite cover of the night would have to be. Could you scroll up so I can see all of them, like properly?
Well, that is all of them.
Yeah, but the 10s are a little cut out.
Oh, in which row? Like, do you think it's in 10, 9, 8, or 7?
No,
Unfortunately,
I don't have control. Venkman is running that side.
Oops.
So I could
think
try.
I might have to go with the center one on the 9s.
Okay, that is I believe that's the Fire Escape.
It's one with the woman driver.
Yeah, this one here?
Yeah.
Okay, definitely a good choice. That is number 22. Melissa, what's your favorite cover of the night?
I would say it's I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, it's the 2nd entry in the awesome category. The one with the Bond. That one.
This one.
Yeah, I
So,
just
number
really
21.
like that villain there. She's just It's just it's a very fun kind of exciting cover, and I'm just absolutely fascinated by that villain. She looks like you said, like she looks like something that's she looks like the future of comics. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a step in the evolution of the comic art happened there. It's
a prototype Harley Quinn.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Yep. Amy, how about you? What was your favorite cover of the night?
Oh man, these are all so great. I loved that one. With the characters was really interesting. Alyssa picked out. I think besides that, probably either like the second one on the Super Awesome, the 10 ones, and I still love Dynamite Shark. And I love that she has a shark that's fighting crime with her.
With Dynamite.
With Dynamite, that's kind of amazing. And the one where she's pulling the guy off of the tracks, I think is just a really cool drawing.
Yeah.
So hard one to narrow down. They're really great covers.
No, it's not that one. Which one is it? Oh, it's this one here. The Crime Never Pays. I think is the second.
Yeah, that's a really great one.
Yeah.
Rescuing the guy from the tracks.
Well, yeah, this is one of them. The second
Number
one.
19. All right, Eric, what was your favorite cover of the night?
Pardon the absolute lack of imagination or originality, but 17.
Yeah, it's
what's
really hard to beat 17. It is so iconic, and it is a great cover. I also really get a kick out of this one.
That is fun.
18, because I love her expression on it, and it's just so funny to me in terms of her holding the two little people. So, Venkman, what was your favorite cover of the night?
So where did the last one go?
The last one. That goes to a 7.
Okay. Cover of the night, man. For me, looking at them, wow. I still like the one with the guy with the gun where it apparently had problems. Overall, though, probably that very first one. The upper left, where it's super awesome, where she's on the pier.
The iconic one. So you're
the one
with the number 17.
Yeah, the one where she's looking right at you with her eyes.
Yeah.
She's like, buy my book or don't read it.
Yeah. So it's great stuff. Again, fun golden age stories too. And I hate to bring it out to this, but you read these stories. This is a strong female character. She beats up the bad guys. She has her own agency. She will often tell her, well, Don was kind of sort of a boyfriend. I mean, yes and no, but it would be, hey, I've got to go off and do this thing. I'll catch up with you.
Okay, can we talk about how dumb Don was? Because when she was Sandra Knight, she would parade around in slinky evening gowns, and then she would go from that to a slinky short skirt, however she was drawing that particular issue.
Mm-hmm.
In neither iteration did she change her hair or wear a mask. But Don, who was close to both of them, couldn't figure out that they were the same person.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well,
I'm imagining at some point she dumped Don for being the dumbass.
Well, maybe it's the same. Maybe the people who are working on Spider-Woman Modern, and thought, hey, we'll just take inspiration from Don, and he can be, like the guy.
Look, at least Clark Kent and Diana Prince wore glasses.
Right.
She didn't even do that, and Don couldn't figure it out.
I tried it, but then I couldn't see.
Let's see what we've got with some of the chat here. Eric is saying, although I don't condone that guy's actions because he could have killed someone. Yeah, Killdozer. Yeah, well, he was still being careful. I mean, come on. Let's see. I didn't think so. That's how I got my fan woman confused. Yeah, Cleanser chooses number 19 for the gold medal, but it's razor close. I can totally understand that. And honestly, for me, I would bump it up if that Crime Never Pays got removed. I just a little too much for me. But
you know what I notice?
Yeah.
Whenever he's not running these, you have a lot of 9s and 10s up here and stuff.
Well, you know, it's the more scientific method. I'll just
We
leave it at
get rid of Angleteen with food poisoning. We take over, and we do better.
Yeah. Although, you know, it's funny. I would like to do a series of covers that it really has a mix. So, you know, that, you know, at some point we do get like some, you know, for some reason, you know, 2s and 3s. You know, but again,
Well, if you want that, we'll get Faith.
Well, I mean, that was where I know that somebody in the chat, you know, the other day brought up the fact of doing like, you know, number ones. And I was thinking what would be interesting would be is to do, say, like number one titles that came out from DC like in 2009.
Well, why don't you just do what you do? You do bad comic beatdowns, do the bad tier beatdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That may or may not be fun because then, but it would be interesting to see like a range. So that's why I say like maybe take 2009 because yeah, there's definitely some good artists in 2009, but there's also just some mediocre stuff, obviously.
Or we rank Riley Rossmo covers.
Oh, you know what? We might have to hold that for April Fools next year. That could be a good April Fool's joke.
Why not Halloween?
Halloween, that could be a good one too. Let's see. Jackson says he's got to go with number 17, even though she's looking at me and saying, "Put those back in the head, boy." Maranya says it's a tie between the female robber cover and the first Moore cover and the lady on the fire escape. All good ones. Glenzer says 17 is iconic, but 19 makes me hear Legs by ZZ Top. Fair enough. MK saying the second one in S with the legs is my favorite. So again, that would be number 19. And Maranya is heading out. So take care. Have a good night, Maranya. We will see you later. Jackson is saying
Maranya
getting at least one of these trade paperbacks. Rhaegar saying everyone knows the Moore cover is the best one. Maranya. And MK saying a slinky skirt. I've never heard of that before. I've just heard of a slinky, though. Those things are cool. Yes. Slinkies were very cool back in the day. And Glenzer saying, yeah, you should start your own channel. Well, I don't know about that.
I love old comics.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that people like the Phantom Lady covers. That, you know, they hold up. And yeah, definitely Melissa and Amy, if you're interested in kind of the Golden Age stuff, I know there's at least one biography, I think, on Matt Baker that's out. Don't know if it's still in print or not. You might check Amazon. But yeah, he was a fascinating person. Again, as we say, you know, died at 38. You know, and really was a, you know, his stuff was obviously recognized, but he really wasn't appreciated until after he died.
Yeah, it's true for most great artists.
Stuff. But you know, then the other thing too, I mean, if you, especially you're interested in some of the Golden Age stuff, yeah, there's definitely the free website. And I would also say check out if you can get your hands on some of the old AC quarterlies. AC Comics, you know, printed a bunch of Golden Age stuff back in the 80s and up into the early 90s. And well, actually for you, Venkman, too, they had a whole series of doing quarterly Western books. So Western tales from the 40s and the 40s.
Good.
I haven't done anything.
Worth checking out. So yeah, definitely there's some stuff out there to check out because there's Sky Gal, there's what's the jungle girl's name?
Nyoka.
Yeah, well, Nyoka is one
That
of them.
sounds like fun.
There's also another one too.
Here's Jungle Queen Shannon.
There's
Oh my goodness.
Torchy. Yeah, there's also Torchy. That's kind of fun. As I say, Sky Gal's interesting because she's basically a waitress at a restaurant at an airport, at like a small little like like single runway airport, and gets into hijinks and adventures. Usually hopping into a plane. Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, Eric and Boyd. Yeah, AC.
And your order never comes.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, but there's all kinds of stuff again. You know, and you know, beautifully drawn. You know, usually in somebody said slinky dresses and things like that. For instance, like, if you watch check out like The Third Man, that kind of people being dressed up. It's great stuff. You can lose yourself for hours. But with that, we've been going almost 2.5 hours. So I appreciate everybody who's
With
still
350 comments in the chat, because I left my thing on private chat, so the notification went up. I was like almost 400. I was like, dang.
Yeah. We definitely got a lot of comments from the chat. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for showing up. This was, I say, a blast.
This is.
Yeah, please share these out. I know I'm having a ball taking a look at these old covers, and it really makes you appreciate the old books. And I know there's definitely more than a few that I've been like, oh wow, this is a really cool cover. I want to go check this book out.
And Lindsay, there's another channel called it's called Old People Loves Comics. Go check out Graphic Man on Wednesdays.
Yeah. So,
There's old guys who love old comics. Jason Mink is the host of the channel. I think it's old guys who love old comics, and then he sells T-shirts that has their logo with 1939 through 1986. But that's a good channel. I wish I could remember the exact name.
Okay. No, there's definitely something to check out. So VENKMAN, what do you got coming up this week?
Well, I guess tomorrow be airing another Moon Knight Monday. Issue number 8 will be airing. Actually, no, it's actually number 7, because we have 2 of those. We'll have one in the morning and one in the afternoon, because for some reason we did another one with Trusty when we already had one recorded. So we're going to have one with Trusty, one without Trusty for those. But I'm not sure what the live is going to be tomorrow. Breen, are you joining tomorrow for Monday night?
For this?
No. I meant for Geeky Puppet Show.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
I'm thinking about another Justice League Adventures, maybe, or something like that.
Well, I know that early in the night last night we were thinking about doing an auction, another auction beforehand, because we wasn't selling.
Oh, well, yeah, but he has date nights, so he might have to cancel.
Yeah, so that probably won't happen. So
it wouldn't be till like 9:30 at night.
Well, as long as we're finished
or 9 o'clock
in time for this. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing tomorrow night? I don't remember.
Well, I know there was talk about possibly doing a claims auction.
What covers are we doing tomorrow night?
Oh, bloody hell! Because I thought you said we were holding off doing the bronze number ones.
That's gonna be Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm trying to think what was chosen, and I don't know off the top of my head. So
is it House of Mystery?
There's Spider Woman.
No, we already did. We did Spider Woman.
I think it's House of Mystery.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. Yeah, Eric and Boyd's saying the same thing. Bronze Age House of Mystery. So those will be the covers we take a look at tomorrow night.
Are we doing that tomorrow night, or are we waiting for E to come back and just doing a random hangout, like we did last Monday with?
Yeah, last Monday was just a random where you guys tune in and you listen to Dalton while we're on the panel.
Oh well, he said he was going to hold off until I came back on the covers. That's why you guys were just doing that.
Yeah, we could do open night Monday.
Either way, I'll be reading tomorrow night, right around 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So there's always something going on. Again, like, subscribe, hit that notification so you're always made aware. Hopefully, a half hour beforehand at least of any pending shows coming up. We will see you again next week. So I will thank the panel. Thank you, RDV.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you, E, for not being here.
Thank you, Evil Black Cat.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't done so, check out the Geeky Show. We just did the first 3 chapters of the Avengers Defenders War.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, Lester Sisters. Melissa, Amy, do you have anything you want to promote or highlight?
Oh, no, just this was really great. I love getting to check out covers and chat with everybody, and man, learn about some great new artists. It's cool to see some of his later works too. He just kept getting stronger and stronger. So, and apparently he went to college for engineering and then just kind of took up art. I'm like, wow, that's cool. What a neat guy. Anyway, so still thanks for this experience. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, and once again, thank you to our comics historian and bon vivant, Eric Breen. It would not be the same without you.
Cheers.
So appreciate you being on.
I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody who joined. If you do catch this late, you can certainly enter in your rankings into the comments below. I know you'll be totaling those up and putting up a final result sometime later on. So thank you for spending part of your Sunday night with us. Have a great week going ahead, and we will talk to you later. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
See you all back tomorrow night.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.